Hello everyone, my name is Ayla Boom and this is my Milestone 3 update. This is going to be a relatively quick one because my tests for this week were a bit time consuming, but fairly simple to show off. So starting out, as you can see, I made the general mountain pass area. I made this into an actual full valley. Before I had the issue where essentially there was this big drop off here. Let me show you what the terrain used to look like. As you can see, major changes. There used to be this big drop off here, where essentially I had the enemies spawned here, but they would just kind of wander off the edge out into the great vast beyond. So I had to essentially build up this entire kind of mountainscape right here to kind of enclose this area a little bit. And so, A, they would stop wandering off, and B, to make it more of a kind of cohesive level area as opposed to just a random spot in the middle of a vast, vast place. Um, so yeah, I also have some stuff that I'm building up here. This is more, I started work on next week's stuff. And this mountain looks kind of like a dog. That I didn't mean for it to happen that way, but I think I might keep it. But yeah, that's a lot of my work was spent making this into one big area because building an entire mountain essentially takes a little bit of time. And then I also went and started adding in kind of some story elements to it. A lot of the things that I added to are like when you open this chest, you little kind of dialogue things like your things that your character might be, the player character is thinking. Uh, it gives you exactly what's going on here and why we're needing to go up and around. I'm not gonna show all of them because I'm gonna be showing them all in the final thing, but just trust that they're kind of throughout the level in different ways. I'll show another one. Up over here. This right here kind of, a lot of the thoughts are kind of just kind of giving the player some direction. Like, yeah, it's basically saying you can choose left or right. And by the way, this wall is not staying wall. I'm leaving it up till the very end just so I can keep things straight for myself. But I will be making it so that it's not so obvious the path, but it'll still be a visible path the player is taking. But like I have a tripwire over here that gives some thoughts and occasional trap chests that will. There's another one over here. Essentially giving a hint about this over here. About having to be super quiet because if you aren't quiet, if you sneak, you're fine. But if you're not quiet and you just go for this chest, you'll fall. And that kind of ties me into the next thing, which I forgot. This is closed off now. I have to actually go out and down and around. But that kind of brings me to the next thing. I did incorporate some traps, which again I'm not going to show all of. I will show all of them in my final gameplay video, but there's the one I just showed you there. There's one, let me find it. This is the wrong way through this cave, so but I'm going to be making this trap is a little obvious right now that it's there because of the fact that all this green, but I'm going to be making this entire cave kind of a more lush green area, adding in some lava to kind of explain why it's a bit warmer. But yeah, just a simple tripwire trap there. A lot of these traps you'll recognize from last week when I was testing them in my test world. But yeah, there's another one. Beginning of this cave. Here it is. Well, this is the end of this cave, but go back through this very beginning cave, you'll notice that there are a couple options here. One of them, you flip this and the chest opens. Flip it back around. The other one, you flip this and you fall. Kind of a long way. And you also get, because this is basically the first trap I have set up for the level, it is kind of getting your player's reaction to the fact that this place is in fact trapped and kind of dangerous in some areas. Okay, so another thing was I wanted to kind of build up the camping area. As you can see, I've kind of added in tents. This is the general path the player will go around through everything, is this stone right here. There are going to be some, like the mountains are going to be built downward that'll make it more kind of obvious and kind of forcing to be on that path. But I will likely in the next week, if I have time, be adding more detail to these tents. Obviously right now they're very simple. I do plan on adding more detail again if I have the time in the next week. And then like I said, the writing story elements, I have a few things placed, kind of triggers placed here and there. And yeah, that's basically everything for this week. Like I said, a lot of very simple to show off stuff. Nothing super complicated. Nothing I had to hop into my test world for this week. It's very much kind of getting towards the end game. And sorry about my dog. She's upset that I'm talking to someone she can't see, I think. But yeah, I think that's everything. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.